Book 12.5 The Honkbonk by Colin Harris.
The Sphinx is plodding across the soft orange sand. He is still tracking down the Grinlings. The planet of Zaxxon has a big red sun, so it gets very, very hot. The Sphinx wishes he had something to drink. At last, the orange sand comes to an end. Now the Sphinx has to cross a flat stretch of rock. There are some big black cracks in this rock. The Sphinx has to jump across some of these cracks. It is a good job that he can jump well. He must not drop down one of the cracks. In the end, the Sphinx sees some cliffs. He can just see some little houses on top of one of the cliffs. The Sphinx sticks at it until he gets to the bottom of this cliff.
The Sphinx goes scrambling up the cliff. There is a big rock at the top. Will it drop down on him?
The Sphinx gets to the top and stands at the back of the big rock. Now the Sphinx can see the houses. They are plastic and glass houses. There are lots of Grinlings living in these houses. Some of them are getting dinner ready in a big pot. One of the Grinlings rings a bell. Then everyone grabs a dish and comes running up. The Grinlings love to eat. The Sphinx licks his lips. The dinner smells very good.
Then the Sphinx hiccups. Everyone stops eating. At first, the Sphinx thinks that they are all going to run off. But then they all rush at him. They grab his hands and legs and drag him across to the big pot. The Sphinx is in a panic. He sees one of the Grinlings lifting up the lid. He thinks that they are going to eat him. But then one of the Grinlings picks up a dish and fills it with dinner. He passes it to the Sphinx. Everyone grins. The Sphinx sits down and tucks in. He asks for some more. It is astonishing because the Grinlings understand every word. The Sphinx eats some more and then they pull him across to one of the houses. They give him a soft mattress to sleep on and a thick rug for a blanket. He stretches out and goes to sleep. The Sphinx sleeps very well. Two of the Grinlings bring him a drink and something to eat. Then he steps out of the house and has a good stretch. Then, thud, thud, thud. Something very big is trampling across the rock.
Thud, thud, thud.
The Grinlings panic. They yell out, "The Honkbonk! The Honkbonk is coming! Run for it!"
The Honkbonk is coming! Run for it!
And they rush across to the houses. In less than 10 seconds, they are all well hidden. The Sphinx is just left standing there. At last, the Sphinx dashes across to the big pot and jumps in. If he pushes the lid up a little bit, he can see what is going on. Then a big metal boot comes stamping down, just missing the pot. The Sphinx grips the rim of the pot. He can see that the Honkbonk is very, very big. In fact, he is colossal. What is he going to do? Will he catch him? The Sphinx ducks down. This is the Honkbonk. He is a metal man. His legs are as thick as tree trunks. There are 6 green buttons on his chest. There is a big metal basket on his back. He has big crab hands. If he steps on the pot, he will crush it flat. The Honkbonk stomps across to one of the plastic and glass houses. A honk, a honk, a honk. It is astonishing. He just picks up the house and grabs a handful of grinlings. Nothing can stop him.
The Grinlings are yelling and struggling, but the Honkbonk does not intend to let them go. He drops them into the metal basket on his back and snaps down the lid. Then off he stomps, honking with happiness. The Honkbonk cannot stand the Grinlings. He just loves to catch them.
The Slinx creeps out of the big pot. He is dripping wet. He picks up a blanket and rubs off the mess. The rest of the Grinlings come out of the houses. They are very upset. The Slinx asks them what will happen to the Grinlings in the Honkbonk's basket. They tell him that the Honkbonk will lock the Grinlings up in his big metal prison. The Grinlings tell the Slinx that the Honkbonk often attacks them. Unless they can stop him, he will catch them all. They will all end up in prison. They tell the Slinx that this prison is at the bottom of one of the cliffs. The Honkbonk lives in a tent next to the prison. The Slinx thinks that it is very sad. The Grinlings have fed him and given him somewhere to sleep. He cannot let them down. He must help them now that they have a problem. He tells them that he will think of a plan to get rid of the Honkbonk. The Grinlings are very happy. They thank him very much. The Slinx sits down to do a bit of thinking. Question 1. What colour is the sun on Zaxxon? Question 2. Why is it a good job that the Slinx can jump well? Question 3. What can the Slinx see at the top of one of the cliffs? Question 4. Why does the Slinx lick his lips? Question 5. Why do the Grinlings stop eating? Question 6. What does the Slinx jump into? Question 7. What is on the Honkbonk's chest? Question 8. Where does the Honkbonk put all the Grinlings he catches? Question 9. Why is the Slinx dripping wet? Question 10. Where does the Honkbonk live?